So welcome to another FC25 video. Today we're taking a look at the career mode deep dive. This is the big article that's going to go over all the new features coming to the game mode. I've decided to break this deep dive up into a manager career mode video and also a player career mode video because there's a lot to talk about for both. So stay tuned for the player career mode video tomorrow. Let me know what you think of career mode so far. I'm probably going to do a video going over my full thoughts in the next couple of days. And make sure you are subscribed because there's a lot of FC25 content still to come. So as a quick overview, these are the main big features. The first one is live start points. All new to both manager and player career mode, live start points brings you closer to your favourite clubs and leagues, allowing you to live out the biggest storylines from the real world during the 24-25 season. That's what it looks like there. We did speak about this in the trailer video I did yesterday, but basically you can start at different snapshots throughout the season. I think it's a good feature because it gives you a new way to play the game, especially if there's a tight title race or relegation battle. Women's manager career is another big feature. In a first for any football game, players now have the option to play manager career in 5 of the top leagues in women's football. Women's Manager Career has all of the men's manager career features, plus unique challenges that exist solely within the women's game. FC IQ is another big career mode feature. This is to do with the tactics. From creating a squad that fits your selected playstyle to pre-match analysis of your opponent's style defined by their manager's real-world tactics, FC IQ influences core career mode features for a more comprehensive matchday and tactical experience. Live start points and snapshots. In FC25 you'll be able to manage some of the top men's and women's teams from any game week across the 24-25 season. On the men's side you can take control of teams in the Premier League, EFL Championship, La Liga, League One, Serie A and Bundesliga. From what I understand, live start points will not be available for every league in the game. It's just going to be whatever EA chooses here. And in women's football, you can play as teams from the Barclays Women's Super League, the French League, the Women's Bundesliga, and the Women's Spanish League. In all, we have live start points for 10 leagues and 12 cup competitions, enabling you to follow along with real results and jump in during any game week of the season. That's what it looks like there. When it's available, you'll see a tile that says live start points. Each live start point will reflect the current points totals, goals scored, transfers, cup progress, player form, injury suspensions, and even potential points deductions. Our aim is to release new game weeks regularly, giving you the option to play alongside authentic competitions and potentially change their outcomes depending on your own goals and performance. Additionally, snapshots capture some of the most pivotal moments of the season, enabling you to easily jump in and take a team over across a selection of European leagues. You can expect snapshots to reflect events like manager sackings, big player transfers, surprise unbeaten streaks, and underperforming clubs turning things around. Our goal with snapshots is to provide you with real-world scenarios to challenge yourself with and enjoy. We're kicking off live start points later in 2024, and you can keep checking in throughout the season for new snapshots and game weeks right up to the end of the season. Start points and snapshots will also be available in player career, where players will be able to take over real-world situations, either as real-world players or as avatars. FC IQ in career mode. While you may have heard about FC IQ in other deep dives, today we're talking about tactical presets, an expansion of our previous tactical vision system. Each tactical preset is defined by a set of key roles covering the pitch, alongside a specific build-up and defensive approach combination. All presets are compatible with all formations, with the formation slightly impacting the preset's requirement. For example, tiki-taka requires a central midfielder to take the deep-lying playmaker role, but if your formation does not have a central mid, that role can be taken by a central defensive mid. The refresh of tactical presets and introduction of player roles helps give new meaning to coaching staff. On top of what they were already doing, attribute increases, staff now also possess the ability to raise the role familiarity of players that are set to the key roles on the pitch by 1 level. For this to happen, the coach's tactical knowledge must be higher than the natural role rating of said player, and the player must be able to play the position in the first place. Most formations require 1 key player role per department but allow more, which opens up new opportunities and dilemmas for managers. For instance, as explained above, only 1 deep-lying playmaker is needed in midfield to apply tiki-taka. Hiring an expert tiki-taka coach in the midfield department means you can improve any central midfielder that's not already a natural deep-lying playmaker plus. So each manager can decide, depending on the squad's natural abilities and opposition, whether to play with extra freedom and more effective playmakers in midfield, or with more safety by also assigning a holding role. Additionally, scouting for players now also includes the option to look for players with specific roles and/or fit for specific presets, enabling you to find the perfect players for your tactical approaches. So here's a look at tactical scouting. You can add a new instruction. There's a custom setting that you can click on, and that's where you can manually take over and find what you're looking for. You can select from different roles there. Additionally, the Squad Hub and Transfer Hub are also updated to surface role information on players. So Foden's here, and on the right you can see the different roles and the pluses for that role. Development plans are now fueled by player roles and include role growth potential, with each role having its own development plan that focuses on a set of attributes and abilities. The role rating of each player determines the potential of key attributes for that role. Over time, if a player is growing consistently on the attributes that are key to a role, there's a chance to trigger a role rating level up. When that happens, it increases the potential of those attributes, unlocking a new stage of growth. Moreover, development plans now surface useful contextual information such as factors that influence growth or development stage each player is in, growth, peak, or retiring. Press conferences and morale sweet spot is up next. In FC25, we are evolving the morale system from an approach of the more the better to a sweet spot system. That means that if players' morale gets over a certain level, players are no longer very happy, they become complacent instead. In this state, their mental attributes are reduced instead of increased. The ideal interval for morale, aka the sweet spot, to keep the player very happy varies, with some players being more calm and professional than others. We've also revised press conferences so that questions asked by the press are now fueled by tactical choices, opponent setup, and match statistics. It's good to know that the press conference questions are getting better now. The Youth Academy's scouting capabilities have been upgraded. You can scout over 160 countries to explore for emerging talent. You can find diverse players with unique playing styles and backgrounds with the goal of enriching your team's potential. So you can see here you've got Solomon Islands, Fiji, Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, Tonga. You can now scout up to 4 specific positions, allowing you to focus on areas that need reinforcement now or in the future. So you would just select them here. In this case, we've got CDM, CM, and CAM. With the introduction of FCIQ, players now also have the ability to scout for 3 distinct roles within the selected positions. Regardless of what your strategy calls for, we want you to have the ability to better shape your team's future. So you can pick your roles there, and you can do 1, 2, and 3. We're also excited to introduce a new way to interact with your youth academy through Rush. You can engage in 5v5 Rush matches with your youth players and an AI-controlled keeper, offering you additional control over the development of your future stars. You can play with these prospects using the current overalls or their full potential rating. Rush matches in Manager Career are bi-monthly tournaments, and winning these competitions can provide a significant increase to the development of your youth players, accelerating their growth and helping them reach their full potential faster. So there you go, you can enter the youth tournament, you can also manage your team and the scouts, and then after the match you'll get this thing that tells you the player performances. Youth players will also now look younger, and you'll be able to see them physically grow during their development in the youth academy. So you can see a 17-year-old here. At the moment he's 6'2". He could possibly grow into a taller player, but he does look more like his age now. I think they can grow beards as well. Women's football in Manager Career is another big feature. We're delighted to share that for the first time, players will be able to manage some of the world's top teams from the women's competitions. Manager Career will feature 5 leagues: Barclays Women's Super League, the French League, the US League, the German League, and also the Spanish League. And the prestigious Women's Champions League will also be playable. So there you go, you've got the Women's Champions League there in career mode. Women's Manager Career saves will feature all of the Manager Career features you'd expect, alongside authentic managers, financial models, contracts, and wage structures that reflect the rapidly growing women's side of the sport. Rush matches are also going to be available for the youth teams in the Women's Career mode. For added flexibility and player choice, you can now move between men's and women's leagues within the same career. So you can go from men's teams to women's teams and then back to men's teams as well. Customization is up next. We've been listening to player feedback on in-game customization and have focused on delivering a series of settings that will enable you to better control the way you simulate your gameplay experience and AI behavior. For example, you can select from a series of predetermined presets tuned for specific situations and gameplay moments. One of the most requested features around this area relates to giving players different choices with respect to gameplay balancing. Players can toggle between a realistic setting, which would lock the gameplay sliders to values closer to current lifelike football, and a classic setting, which is meant to highlight the classic feeling of playing through the established FC gameplay. Of course, a very detailed custom setting is also available, where players can adjust the toggles and the values for both the CPU and their own side, letting you set your preferred experience. So gameplay type is simulation, which is a slower simulation style experience that is closer to what you'd see in a live football match. For players who really want to challenge themselves, they can raise the difficulty of their saves by making transfer negotiations stricter, setting the board expectations to be harsh, slowing the training plan recovery rates down, creating a transfer embargo, and playing with sim-style gameplay. For players who want a more relaxed experience, they could create a game where a huge financial takeover has just happened, where they can't get sacked. That's a big one because FC24 Career Mode sacked you for no reason. Like, you could have won the treble, but the board would still sack you because you didn't sign a player from Australia. I'm very happy that they've got a setting now where you can't get sacked. It says here that there's also settings for no scouting or where players develop faster. Settings such as match settings and gameplay sim settings can still be modified mid-save and do not require you to start a new your career, while other settings are locked in when a save is first created. Customization options are also available in player career, not just manager career. New menu visuals and social media. This is the new home screen in career mode. It's a new look, it's much more simpler now, a lot of different tiles. I don't know if it's good or bad, I haven't really played it yet. This is the task list. You can see your next major event in the calendar. You can see the social media tile there on the right. You've got your tabs there as well. The task list is a dynamic rundown of pending actions that players may want to engage with during their saves, from squad management to youth academy and other activities. All issues and points of interest are brought up front for your convenience. Another change in FC25 is the addition of social media. Social media in FC25 is a virtual platform where players can see the most important news regarding their achievements, match results, upcoming matches, transfer news and much more. Clubs, leagues, players, fans and news outlets are going to be posting, covering narratives from both on and off the pitch. Whether you're managing a top team in career mode or a player in player career, you're sure to be the subject of many stories, being a hero at times and an anti-hero at others. So there's your social media. You can scroll the news feed using the analog stick, and then you can read some comments and posts from players, news outlets and more. We've secured some of the biggest names in sports media to deliver these social media stories. Fabrizio Romano will be helping you stay on top of all the transfer rumours and deals, while media outlets like The Athletic will keep you updated about the results and reactions across the world of FC. So there's a post from The Athletic there. And there's a Fabrizio Romano post that says, "Here we go, confirmed. Tottenham have signed Moreno." Let me know what you think of manager career mode. Obviously, you know, we talk a lot about manager career mode, the things we want and all that. And some of these features are definitely part of the things we want list. So it's good that they're in there. But I'll give my proper thoughts in a future video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like for me. Make sure you subscribe as well. And click the thumbnail in the middle to watch things that won't be in FC25.